Hello, everyone. Welcome to Arundel Community College. We're here for the Arundel Youth Football Association Championships, the 95-pound championship taking place right now. The Severn Seminoles taking on the GORC Wildcats. And the Seminoles will be kicking off to the Wildcats. GORC came into this game with 2 losses in the regular season, and the 95-pound Seminoles on their playoff run. They're 31-12 over Millersville and 15-0 over the AA Gridiron Rebels. Troy Farmer and Camry Gathers back to receive. See the kick of Kenny Edwards. Now the sun peeking through the clouds here at Arundel Community College. Going to be a short kick. Taking at the 42-yard line. Knelt down was the receiver. Number 55, Scott Wolfendale. Now we're just underway. 3 seconds going off the clock here in the first quarter, and now the clock running. Jacob Bond, the quarterback, coming up over center. Has Farmer in the backfield. Single wide receiver here to the near side, going in motion. That's Gathers. Give goes right up the middle and banging forward, getting close to, make that 8 yards on the play. Number 28, Trevon Judge. Second down and 2. Gathers goes in motion. Give going up off the left tackle and get enough for the first down is Farmer. The GORC Wildcats in their green uniforms, white numbers, golden pants, golden helmets. And with the white road uniforms are the Severn Seminoles. Bond, movement, flag. We're going to make it a 1st and 15 as the ball goes back into GORC territory at about the 48-yard line. Looks like Severn going with 8 in the box now. Here's Farmer over center. Make that Bond over center. Gathers goes in motion. They give Gathers no fake the dive. Counter flag goes down again. Trevon Judge, but flag down right after the snap. You're going to wave the flag off. But nonetheless, Judge gets about a yard on the play, and so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14. We're in the first period, 8:05 left to go in the first. 0-0 our score. Opening series for the Wildcats. Judge lone back in the backfield, wide receivers either side. Man going in motion, that's Farmer. to give the Farmer on the inside sweep, and he gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage and dropped. Number 87, Donovan Foster, coming up from his defensive end position. That's going to bring him a 3rd down and 16 now. Bond 3 back in the backfield. Back to pass. Looks, throws deep, has a man there with a floater, and he can't catch up to it. Bond rushed a little bit, floated that ball up there. And Mac Banassi was the intended receiver. He had to turn around for it, dove, and it just got a fingertip on it. 4th down. Bond on the 4th down. Ball's at the 44-yard line. And Rick Schmidt wants to time out, the head coach of the GORC Wildcat 95-pound team. This is, of course, a 95-pound championship. The Anne Arundel Youth Football Association. We're here at Anne Arundel Community College. On a day that could be categorized as not too bad. It's been raining on and off here from the morning into the afternoon, and the field is held up pretty good here. We haven't seen too many players slipping and other such things. Now man going in motion is Farmer. Gets the inside sweep. No, it's going to be a flea flicker. Throws down the field. And the catch in and out of the hands of Gathers. He had it. Nothing but green in front of him, but he dropped the ball. Nice design play. Farmer looked like he was going to run that same jet sweep. Backed up and threw a nice pass down the field, but in and out of the hands of Gathers. And so giving up the ball on downs are the Wildcats. And now Severn with the ball. Edwards over center. Gives on a dive going to the right side. That's number 2, Brandon Walker. Three backs in the backfield for Edwards over center. And it's going to be a little bit of confusion at the front of the line, but is able to get the handoff off. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 now. Quiones over center. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. 3rd down and 9. Counter looking to go off a right tackle. Nothing happening. Like Cedric Washington with the carry. And Banassi with the tackle. 4th down. Quiones over center, 4th down and 8. Ball down on the ground. Looks like he was about to hand it off. He just dropped the ball, fell on it. Right at the 45-yard line. And so GORC will take over. No score. 5:18 left to go in the first quarter. They're in a 95-pound championship. both teams not able to do much in their first series, and so GORC takes over in their own territory. They're going to place the ball at the 46-yard line. There's Bond over center. Gibbs going off a right tackle and lunging forward is Troy Farmer. Looks like he slipped a little bit on the middle of the field, but was able to get about 5 yards on the play, so let's bring up a second down, long 5. Man going to motion, Farmer. Bond, Gibbs going off a right tackle and nothing happening. For Trevon Judge with the carry. And it's going to bring up another third down. It was like Lucky O'Connor with the tackle. Third down and 7. There's Bond looking. Back to pass, throws it deep over the middle of the field. He actually dumped it over the middle of the field to Matt Bandacy. He makes the catch, gets enough for the first down to 41-yard line. Bond lost the handle on the ball, was able to gather it back up and just dumped it over there. He saw Bandacy there. Bandacy just waited for it and got it 7 yards on the play, first down. Bond over center, ball in Severn territory. And to give, no, it's going to be a counter going the other way. And it's going to be about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Troy Farmer with the carry. Bond over center, and to give to Judge, who looks to pick his way, gets about maybe 3 yards. Going to bring another important third down with 2:28. Let's go into first. There's Bond again over center. And looks like we're going to have encroachment called against Severn. If it is, then it's a 5-yard penalty. That would bring it close to a first down. Yep, offside the call. Yep, it's going to bring up a third down and a long one. 1:46 left to go in the first. There's Bond, no backs in the backfield on the third down. He may try to sneak this over. Look up an inside sweep to Farmer. Nope, there's Bond. He's going to go off of left side, and he gets enough for the first down, depending on the spot. Yep, at the 28-yard line. So it's first down, GORC Wildcats. Bond comes up over center and to give on a two. Farmer looks to turn the corner, gets enough for maybe about 3 yards or so. Farmer doing a good job of keeping his feet moving and spun out a couple of tackles, but ends up maybe 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and 8, 48 seconds left to go in the first. So maybe a couple plays left in this quarter here. Farmer. Again, there's Judge on the dive up the middle. Gets maybe another couple yards. And that might do it for the quarter with 12 seconds left. Clock running. And time expires in the first. 0-0 our score. In the 95-pound championship of the Arundel Youth Football Association. Nate Lewis with you, along with Ryan Bowden and the entire Broadcast Monsters crew. Sean P. O'Connor, Big Dave the radio slave here. And even though the opening drives for both of these teams stalled early, there was certainly some things to open up on both sides. It just drop passes, maybe the story of the first quarter. Certainly GORC with the ball right now as we start the fourth quarter. It's going to be a 3rd down and 4 with the ball at the 22-yard line. This time going from left to right in front of us. Bond over center, 3 back to the backfield. Give going off a left tackle, looking, cutting back and getting close to a 1st down. Number 33 gathers. It's going to be a 4th down and 1. And going in motions the man there. There's Bond who tries to go off a left tackle to get the 1st down on the sneak. 9:16 left, and there's a 1st down GORC. It's on the red zone now with number 21, Jacob Bond. Over center again, 3 backs in the backfield. Ball far side, hash mark, gives to Judge. Bangs forward for about 4 yards. Donovan Foster with the tackle for the Seminoles. There's Bond, 2nd and 6. Gives all to Troy Farmer, stays up on his feet, down to the 9-yard line. Depending on the spot, maybe outside the 10. No, I'll check that, yep. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 at a 9. Line over center to give the Judge as he bounces it to the inside. And he gets maybe a yard, and depending on the spot, they may have to measure here because it looks like he's close to the first down. Yep. Yep, we're going to call it a first down. It'll be a 1st and goal just at the 4-yard line. Because obviously these players in the 95-pound category, Judge with a little bit more experience may have noticed that on that last play that there was a lot of room on the outside. If he bounced it to the outside, this could have been a touchdown. 6 minutes left to go in the half. And check that, just under 7 minutes left. Full house backfield for Bond. Gives the Judge. Now he bounces it to the outside. Gets close, about maybe 3 yards. It'll be a 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. .6:17 left. Bond gives a Farmer, gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a half yard on the play. .540 left. There's Bond over center. 3rd down and goal at the 2-yard line. There's Judge looking to go in, but no, just short. Going to bring up 4th down. Actually, no gain on the play. It's going to be 4th and goal. Ball just outside the 2-yard line. Three backs in the backfield. Bond looks over the defense, and he gives the Judge, goes off right tackle. Is he in? No, stop short. Seminoles take over with the ball right at the 1-yard line. Turned out to be a good defensive stand for the Seminoles. 4:37 left to go in the half. Let me take it over Kilnis. Gibbs looking to go on the outside, turn the corner, and running a long way. Down to the 45, to the 40, stays up, down to the 50. This is going to be a 99-yard run for number 2. Brandon Walker, touchdown. 99 yards on the first play of scrimmage with 4 minutes left. Big players come up big in big games, and Brandon Walker took it to the outside, turned on the Jets, and rambled 99 yards. I want to try the extra point. Is number 80. Gets the snap. Kick is on the way. Goes left side, and it is no good. 6-0 outscore with 4 minutes left to go in the half. The Severn Seminoles strike first in a big way. 99-yard run by Brandon Walker. Well, the Severn Seminoles have two head coaches. Officially, Terry Oliver is the head coach of record, but John Zawatowski does the administration, takes care of the personnel changes there. And, of course, one of those of the personnel, Brandon Walker, is went 99 yards for the first touchdown. Donovan Foster, who tried the extra point, is kicking off now. 4 minutes left to go in the half. Kick is away. Goes to the up man. That's Judge. Turns the corner, gets wrapped up by the shirt, hit it to 50 and knocked out of bounds. So for the Wildcats trailing right now, 6-0. Well, this time Judge lines up as a wide receiver. Bond over center. Running the option. Pitch goes outside to Farmer. Breaks a tackle. Still up on his feet. Runs out of bounds. Gets maybe 2 yards. Give him 3 on the play. It's going to be a 3rd and 7. Judge comes here to the near side. Bond over center. Bond again running the option. Again pitch to Farmer. He's going to reverse it. That's going to throw it down the field. Judge is there at the 30-yard line. And he makes a catch, but then taken away. Now the catch is going to be credited to Judge. Looks like when he came down, nope, it's going to be overruled. So now, the Judge actually had the ball in his hands. And Kenny Edwards ran up on him when he was trying to bring the ball down, took it away from him. Well, now they're going to credit the pass to Judge. Okay. Well, look, that was a clear takeaway, but nonetheless, GORC, 1st and 10. Back to pass. Throwing down the field is going to be way overthrown and almost intercepted. Matt Banassi was the intended receiver. Lionel Green with the defense and almost came up with that one. 3:06 left in the half. Second down and 10. Farmer going in motion. Jet sweep. No, back to pass. Looks, throws, has, gathers there. Off his fingertips again. Oh, they're going to keep trying that. I'm telling you what, Gathers going to come up with one of those. He was open for the second time, wide open. You got to be impressed with how well young Troy Farmer's throwing the ball. He's taking that pass on 2 option passes and has been able to throw a nice spiral down the field. Now it's 3rd down and 10 with the ball to 26-yard line. Now to give. Nope. Going up the middle is Farmer, and it's going to be a flag down at the end of the play as he's dropped for a loss. Kenny Edwards with a tackle. 2:55 left in the first. And holding's going to be called against the Wildcats. It's going to be waved off. It's going to bring up 4th down now. Puts the ball back at the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 4th and 13. So Bond comes up over center. 2:42 left. Back to pass. Looks again. Throws. Has a man there. Back it up with the catch at the 10-yard line. Mac Banassi, but there's a flag down. Flag down right where Bond threw the ball. He had an awful lot of time, which can oftentimes indicate that somebody was held up. Yep, holding the call is going to go against GORC. That's going to bring it back even further with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. So now it's going to be 4th and about 23 with the ball back at the 42-yard line. 2:09 left. There's Bond over center. Single back in the backfield is Farmer. Give goes up the middle and breaking the tackle, turning the corner. Still up on his feet. Gets hit hard, stood up down the 35-yard line. Gathers. And so the Seminoles take over, leading 6-0. Quiones gives, looking for a room going on the outside. Torrey Wagner with the carry. We're down to 1:15 left. Whistles blow. We got a stoppage of play. GORC Wildcats call a timeout. 1:08 left. 6-0 our score. Here in the 95-pound championship, the GORC Wildcats trailing the Severn Seminoles 6-0. The difference, a Kenny Edwards 99-yard run. This once again the Arundel Youth Football Association Championships. Nate Lewis, Ryan Bound with you. Sincerely hope you're enjoying our presentation of this championship. If by the pictures alone. So 1:08 left. It's a 2nd down and 9. Quiones over center. Yeah, going outside, looking, turning the corner, getting wrapped up and dropped. That was Wagner with the carry. He's going to bring up 4th down. About 52 seconds left. to make that third down. Edwards comes in at the quarterback because they brought an entire different unit. Taking a dive in the count, going on the outside and getting wrapped up and dropped with 30 seconds left. Cedric Washington with the carry. Check that Gavin Salmon with the carry. 11 seconds left, timeout called. And it's going to be called by the Seminoles with just over 11 seconds left. Well, a good-sized crowd here at Arundel Community College to check out this 95-pound championship. Trust me, it's a big crowd here. And they have 11.2 seconds left on the clock. There you go. It's a good shot at the crowd. Again, Edwards remains at the quarterback. Makes a dive, counter. Salmon with the carry. Looks, turns on a reverse. Still up on his feet. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And they're going to stop with the clock with 0.9 seconds left on the clock. And so with that, the Seminoles will get one more play here in this half. And now the Wildcats call the timeout. As with really just over a half second left. Coach Rick Smith wants his defense to look out for any kind of trick plays they may see. Of course, GORC, we've already seen 2 halfback option plays and really 2 good passes as well from Troy Farmer. First and 10, Wildcats. Bond over center. Straight drop back, time expires. Throws deep. Has a man there, and it's going to drop, harms it to the ground into triple coverage. But the first half is in the books, and the difference, a 99-yard run. There's a difference in the score. The Severn Seminoles lead over the GORC Wildcats here in this 95-pound championship. And we'll be back with second half action in just a moment.
What sports are offered, who are the department employees, and who supervises the sports?
Well, the county offers a wide variety of sports based on the season. There are 3 sports supervisors in the county. Myself, Ron Mox, and Georgette Chaloup handle the youth sports, and John Spinnenweber and Jeff Porter do the adult sports. In the fall, we offer football, soccer, and field hockey. In the wintertime, we offer basketball and wrestling. In the spring, we offer lacrosse, baseball, and softball. And in the summertime, we offer, again, field hockey for the high school players, basketball for the high school players, and tennis lessons.
How would a parent register their child?
Well, you don't register with the county when you're signing your children up to play sports. You register them with your local youth community sports organization. Some examples of them throughout the county are the Edgewater Athletic Club, the Gambrills Odenton Rec Council, the Linthicum-Ferndale Youth Athletic Association, Greater Glen Burnie Junior Sports League. They have a wide variety of names, but all of them do hold registration for the children. You register your son or daughter with that organization, then they in turn enter teams into the county leagues.
How do you find out about these community programs?
The easiest way to find out about any of them is in your local newspapers. Just about every organization will advertise the programs when they're holding the registration for those programs. You can also go onto our department's website for a resource link, which Franklin Chaney will talk about a little bit later.
Who When should they register?
Definitely don't wait until the sports season begins. If you wait until opening day of Oriole baseball in April, you're going to be way too late to sign up for your local community sports league. For instance, in baseball, they're going to be registering in January and February, so that's when you should be looking in your local newspapers for the registration times and locations. I'd also like to wish good luck to all the participants in today's football championship games. They've had a fine season this year, and I know that we'll see good sportsmanship out on the field all day long. Thank you.
Why do you think it's important for kids to participate in youth sports?
Sports prepare children in many ways for life's lessons. Not only does it keep someone healthy and physically fit, but there's a lot more lessons to be learned by participating in athletics. At one point in time when Napoleon was apparently going to be conquering the world and no one thought they could stop him, he met Lord Wellington at the Battle of Waterloo. Apparently, Wellington said the Battle of Waterloo was one of the fields of Eton. What he meant by that, I think, was that the British hierarchy went to a private school called Eton, and they had to play rugby, they had to play soccer, they had to participate in athletics. They learned a respect for one another. They learned a respect for discipline. They learned a respect for their opponents. They learned to work as a team. They learned to follow a leader. And when necessary, they learned to do something on their own. And that translates into life. It happened at the Battle of Waterloo. It's going to happen as these children go through high school, as they go to college, as they become parents. And what I'm talking about in life, let's talk about football, for example. Football is a sport not about not getting knocked down, it's about getting up after you've been knocked down. Because in life at some point you will get knocked down. It may be business, it may be a marriage, it may be a girlfriend that didn't go to the prom, and you got to stand back up and get back in the game, and that's what these kids learn.
Do you think competition is good for young athletes?
As long as it's kept in perspective. Unfortunately, we've had situations over the years where too much emphasis has been put on winning. What's important is participation. We like to say that the county programs, the SPF, Sun Protection Factor, everyone's familiar with that. We like to say our programs are SPF 100 plus, sportsmanship, participation, and fun. If the child's not having fun, forget it. Get them out of it. But one of the reasons they may not be having fun are the pressures that parents put on the kids, or maybe a coach. If that happens, we'd like to know about it. Participation, we have mandatory minimum participation in every sport. In football, it starts off even at, I believe it's a 65-pound league, like 7 years old or 6 years old. They have to play a minimum of half the game, no exceptions. As they progress, things become a little more competitive, but at the 75-pound, they have to play a minimum of a quarter of a game.
Is there a certain philosophy that Anne Arundel County Recreation Parks has about youth sports?
Yeah, the philosophy is, I think what I've just mentioned, participation and having fun. If I could boil it down, they would be the two. And out of that comes sportsmanship, and I believe in the long run that makes for better citizenship. I would hope that the young kids today who are probably like me, if infatuated with television, would spend a little more time watching programs like the one you're going to see with the playoffs and recreation league rather than professional sports. They watch good college sports. And while the emphasis certainly is to score and win, you'll always see a high degree of participation. And you know what I like? When somebody gets knocked down, a teammate runs over and gives them a hand and pulls them up. I had something happen with the Panthers, by the way. I have occasion to go around to the county with a lot of homecoming days in football. And I went over to the Panthers year before last. And Panthers, by the way, are up in the northern part of the county for those that may not know. And it was a 65-pound opening day against Maryland City. And they were at the Panthers field, and they had cheerleaders, and they had a sign, the paper that burst through, it's opening season, they come running through. They gathered around, made a lot of noise, and then they were supposed to go out and line up on the field so the officials could inspect their equipment, make sure everybody had a mouthpiece, make sure they had their regular shoes on. And I saw one kid who stayed on the sideline, he was crying. And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I'm really nervous." 65 pounds. He was nervous. I said, man, I don't blame you. Everybody's nervous. But I'll tell you what, the minute somebody hits you or you hit somebody the first time, you're going to forget it. Well, with reluctance, he went out of line. Some of his teammates, a little embarrassed, kind of looking at him and then looked straight ahead. I mean, these kids are 6 and 7 years old. Watched him on the kickoff, really wasn't involved in too much of anything. A couple plays later, he was on the ground, got up, he ended up finishing the game. That, to me, is a brave individual. I give that kid all the credit in the world. And he's going to succeed in life because he overcame the fear that he had. He got in there. Maybe he was there because his father made him do it. I don't know. But I know he did it, and I know today he feels better because he did it.
All right, as rec administrator, what do you oversee here at the Anne Arundel County Parks?
A lot of people don't know, at Recreation Parks, we do a variety of programs. As the rec administrator for the department, we run over 30 child care centers before and after school at 30 elementary schools and a couple middle schools in the county. We run area programs at schools right after school throughout the county, gymnastics, aerobics, ballet, all those type of programs. We have 2 rec centers, the North County Rec Center and the South County Rec Center. We also run adult sports leagues. We have 3 major adult sports complexes, Joe Cannon Baseball Stadium, the Bachman Sports Complex, which has 6 softball fields, a multi-purpose field, and a very nice baseball field, and we have Randazzo Softball Park. That softball park has 3 fields. And additionally, also, we have the Arundel Olympic Swim Center, which is in Annapolis, and that has a very nice Olympic-sized swim center that's open, over 100 hours a week. So a lot of people don't realize we do sports leagues and sports programs, but there's a lot of other activities that we do at the department as well.
For those people that don't realize that, where do they go to find out information about those activities?
Yes, thank you very much for asking. We have a very good website. It's, I guess I'm on to move. It's www.aacounty.org/rec-and-parks. You can go on that website and you can see all our type of activities. You can download our program guide, and you can sign up. We can register for many of our programs online, and it's a very customer-friendly service. For the teams that are playing today, good luck. Remember, sportsmanship comes first, but we hope you enjoyed the game and enjoyed the activity and the service that we all provided.
Well, it got started back in 1968. A bunch of guys come together to try to teach football through the fellowship of the county, to bring people together.
Now, how many organizations are involved in?
Right now we're running 22 different organizations. We have 170 football teams.
Now, does each organization have a say on the rules and the procedures for the Youth Football Association?
Yes, we have an executive committee, which I'm the president of. We have a vice president and 7 commissioners. Then we have each commissioner represents their organization, and in the spring we vote on anything like new amendments coming in, and everybody has a say in a vote.
Now, if somebody wanted to get involved in the Youth Football Association, how would they get involved?
I would suggest they call County Parks and Recs and find out what organization they live in and call the commissioner. Everybody's got their numbers and everything.
Now, the years you've been involved with youth football, have you seen the level of play over the last few years rise since you first got involved?
Oh, definitely, yeah. The kids are a lot better, a lot faster. Weights seem to always change around. Everybody's not satisfied with the weights, but we're pretty right on line with the doctors and everything, what the weight should be. We changed 3 years ago. We went from weighing the child every game to now we do the index card, and we only do that once a year in the weigh-ins.
Anything you want to wish the people or the teams?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to tell everybody good luck come Saturday. We're having the championship games at the college, Anne Arundel Community College. Start at 9 o'clock, and we'll probably be done about 10 o'clock at night. Good food. Come on out. It's a free invite. You don't have to pay. Enjoy yourselves and watch the real kids play.
Welcome back once again to Anne Arundel Community College. It's getting ready for third quarter action here in the 95-pound championship game of the Anne Arundel Youth Football Association. Nate Lewis riding by with me. Bruce taking care of the camera duties and getting these great pictures here of this 95-pound championship. And the score here, 6-0. If you're just catching us halfway through, Brandon Walker's 99-yard run in the first quarter is the difference. The Severn Seminoles lead. Bond taking care of the kicking duties. The approach, now check that, it's Wesley Masters. Kick is away, it's going to be short. Ball's rolling down the ground, picked up. Now coming in. Ball's going to be down on the ground after the tackle, but ruled down by contact. Galvin Salmon with the return. 1st and 10, ball to 29-yard line of Severn. Keone's back at the quarterback. 3 backs in the backfield. For the Seminoles looking, turning, and an undesired run. Goes to the outside, turns the corner, and gets to maybe 3 yards on the play. That's Kenny Edwards in at the quarterback. Again, maybe 2 yards on the play. It's going to be a 2nd down and 8. Just underway in the third quarter. 8:54 left with the clock running. Here's Edwards over center. 3 backs in the backfield. Give going off left tackle and stuffed. That's Brandon Walker, who has a touchdown in the game. Gets dropped for a loss of about half a yard. Going to bring up 3rd down. And so now it's 3rd down and 9. And the give going off the left tackle is Walker. That's going to bring up 4th down and 5. On a misdirection, wrapped up and dropped behind the line of scrimmage is Torrey Wagner. And it's going to be Trevon Judge with the tackle. And now GORC with the ball again. They weren't able to generate much offensively. But that option pass on a fake jet sweep has become very close. And that's when they handed off to Troy Farmer coming in from a wide receiver position. And now Bond over center. 2 tights. 6:54 left. And to give Judge a big hole, but plugged up quickly. He gets maybe 3 yards. Down to the 30-yard line. believe the team are really, both teams really trying to rely on the big play right now. As they haven't been able to generate much offensively. Bond now sets up over center, 3 backs in the backfield. 1 wide receiver here near side, faking a dive, running a bootleg, and it's going to collapse quickly as he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Brian Hammond getting Bond as he tried to put it on the hip, but fooling nobody. Now it's 3rd down and almost 15 on the loss. Bond fakes, throws over the middle, has a man there with a second catch of the day is number 52, Matt Banassi. And now we see as they get about 8 yards on the play, with now bringing up 4th down, and GORC is mixing things up offensively. Bond over center. Running the option. Pitch goes out to Farmer. He's got a whole lot of room, but one guy to beat and gets collapsed upon quickly and only gets a couple of yards and giving up the ball on downs on the GORC Wildcats. In the 3rd quarter, 6-0 remains our score. The Seminoles with the lead and with the ball. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. With Edwards over center. Straight drop back, looks, throws far side, has a man off of the shoulder pad. Brian Hammond there was running a drag or trying to run a quick out. Edwards did a good job of delivering the ball there, but it went off the shoulder pads. Down to 4:15 left now. Edwards. Looks back to pass again to Assoication. Throws over the middle into a whole lot of traffic and picked off. It'll be GORC ball. Down to 3:48 left to go, and Bond into GORC Wildcats with the ball. As the give goes to Judge. He had a pretty good first half. Up on his feet, gets about 3 yards, down to the 35-yard line. They give him 3 yards on the play, so it'll be a 2nd down to 7. 3:19 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-0's our score with the Severn Seminoles leading. Yeah, 2nd down to 7, encroachment. Brandon Walker trying to anticipate the play and took a step into the neutral zone. And the 5-yard penalty now, it'll make it a 2nd down and 3 at the 30-yard line. the second down and a long 2. Bond brings him up over the ball. 3 backs in the backfield. And a give goes to Farmer. Cuts back and is going to be forced close to a first down, right about the 26-yard line. And officials call timeout. They'll be measuring here. It's looks like the ball's matching up right exactly where the sticks are. They may have gotten this by a nose. Oh, it's close. Very close. By half the length of a football, first down. There's Bond over center. 3 backs in the backfield. And the give goes to Judge, who gets initial hit, but then surges forward on the second effort. Gets about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play down. And give him maybe 2.5 down to the 24-yard line. With 1:37 left to go in the third. Troy Farmer going in motion. Taking a dive down. Let me check out. It's going to be a dive to Judge. Tries to go off the center. Gets maybe a yard. It's going to bring up a third down. Well, on this third down here, as far as passing goes, that it looks like GORC has been the only team that's been consistently successful. Again, Farmer goes in motion. Inside sweep going to Farmer to the outside. Turns the corner. Down to the 10. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be first and goal, GORC. The Wildcats have been running that jet sweep. All day, and certainly great success there. First and goal, ball just inside the 10-yard line. There's Bond over center. Again going to motion, Farmer. This time it goes left side to Judge, and he lunges forward, gets maybe a couple yards. It'll be down near the 8-yard line. Make it to the 7, second down and goal. And time expires in the third. 6-0 is our score, but the Wildcats in scoring position. Turned out to be a good drive for the Wildcats. Of course, spearheaded by the Farmer jet sweep. You got 8 yards on that, and now they're down to the 7-yard line as they switch sides of the field. Severn certainly one of the more successful programs here in the Arundel Youth Football Association. Came into this game at 10-0. Under head coach Terren Gather. I'll make that Terry Oliver. with this drive right now by the Wildcats, and as they have the ball down at the 8-yard line. Bond in at the quarterback. A little bit of sun peeking through the clouds here at Anne Arundel Community College, the home of the Pioneers. 3 backs in the backfield for Bond. Gives the Judge, goes to the outside, and he's going to get dropped for maybe after gain of 1, and it's going to bring up 3rd and goal. I think another 3rd down opportunity here, and of course with their ability to run the ball, you might see the Wildcats maybe drop back. Bandesy has 2 catches in the game right now. He sets up as a offensive tackle right now. There's a give going over to the outside and up on his feet, but getting wrapped up and dropped. Maybe a gain of 1. Gathers is going to bring up 4th down. The Seminole defense have tightened up here. There's a player down for the Seminoles. Again, both of these teams are extremely well coached, and you know, there are times when obviously these players play well above, or at least looks like they play well above the 95-pound level, and it can be exemplified by some of the hits we've seen here. And so the injured player being tended to. Just underway in the 4th quarter, 9:14 left. We can see from here that the players' hands and legs are moving, that's a good sign unto itself. But he remains down on the field. In this Anne Arundel Youth Football Association, they have grown to 22 organizations of 170 teams and 4,000 players. And they're celebrating with their championship here. And right now the GORC players come to the sideline. Both players are journeying right now to their respective sidelines. I think they're about to get the player up, and he's up on his feet. Maybe a little groggy, but trying to catch a number. I think that was Edwards. Certainly with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left, they certainly don't want to lose one of their key players. And it looks like he might be back. So it's a 4th down and goal. Ball sits right about the 5-yard line. Bond over center. Wide receivers either side of the field. Judge in the back. Goes in motion, does Judge. Back to pass. Throws a pop over the middle. Catch! Touchdown, Wildcats. They went to Bandesy. As from a passing standpoint, that's been one of the more consistently successful plays for the Wildcats, and ends up tying the ball game. Now going for the extra point, Bond. Again, you might see the same play here. Farmer going in motion. Jet sweep. Looks, turns, dives in, taking the lead. All right, the GORC Wildcats. Seven to 6 to score with 9:04 left. Wesley Masters kicking off. Still plenty of time left in this one. Nice end over end kick. Takes the receiver back, takes it to the 22-yard line. Coming here near side, looking for blocking. Down to the outside of Salmon, turns the corner, runs out of bounds at midfield. Salmon with a 30-yard return. And it'll be good field position for the Seminoles. And a whistle blow. We have an official's timeout. There's the kicking tee left out on the field. Now Keowney's back at the quarterback position. Gibbs looking to go on the outside as Walker turns the corner. Now for the first down to the 40-yard line. Walker, who has Severn's touchdown today. Good job of negotiating the sideline, and nope, it looks like it's going to be just a yard short of the first down. And Keowney's has Salmon here near side. Gibb goes off a right tackle and a big hole. Looking, turning a corner. Down to the 30, to the 20. 10, 5, touchdown. 41-yard run. Torrey Wagner. And just like that, the Seminoles take the lead. Wagner with a magnificent move at the 20-yard line, and it was just flat-out speed there, and nobody in a green uniform could find him. Jonas going for two. Walker gets stuffed. No, still up on his feet. Stiff arms. Dives in. 13-7 the score. But like I said, plenty of time left. 7:56 left, 13-7 is the score. Farmer and Gathers back to receive the kick. And the kick's going to be short. Picked up and dropped smartly by Gableman. It's ought to be 1st and 10 now, GORC at the 48-yard line. Line comes up over center. They've been going with that 3-back set. Farmer to tailback. The give is the Farmer. Looks to go on the outside. Has a good block and gets maybe 3 yards at midfield now. Jacob Bond over center. Back to pass. Looks. Throws deep. Has a man there and is going to be overthrown. Gableman was open for about 2 yards. Bond maybe floated a little bit with a little bit of help from the wind. Came here near side. If he kept it over the middle of the field, that could have been a catch, maybe a big gain or more. But nonetheless, it brings up 3rd down now with 6:52 left. Bond gives a Farmer, has a hole, breaks a tackle. Comes to the middle of the field, down to 40, 45, knocked out of bounds. Be almost 20 yards on a run. Farmer doing a good job of using the stiff arm, and with 6:38 left, the Wildcats on the move. With the pro set eye now, Farmer again goes in motion, fakes a dive, gives to Judge. He bounces it to the inside and gets maybe 3 yards down to the 30-yard line. I'll give him a couple yards on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 8, balls at the 30. 6:05 left. Judge in motion. There's a reverse to Farmer. Flag goes down. He gets maybe a yard. And holding's going to be the call. That's the 3rd time today that the Wildcats have literally hurt themselves with the holding calls. And now it's going to take the ball way back to the 42-yard line of Severn. Timeout call GORC, as they decide what they're going to do offensively. This once again is the Arundel Youth Football Association Championship, 95-pound championship. Things have lit up here a bit in the second half. After a 6-0 first half, Severn lead. 5:46 left to go in regulation. 13-7 is the score, with the Seminoles leading. There's Bond. Farmer. Pitch. Going to the outside. There is Gathers. Looks. He's in a whole lot of trouble, but he's able to bounce out of it. Turns the corner. Gets a good gain out of it, about maybe 5 or 6 yards. And it's still going to bring up a third down at about 14. I'll make it 15. Bond again over center. Farmer comes. This time he's going to run a sweep again. And then again he has a whole lot of room. Gets strung out and then run out of bounds after a gain of about 1. It looked like he had a whole lot of room there. Wasn't able to turn it up. Torrey Wagner catches up to him and drops him right at the 35-yard line. 4th down. Well, big 4th down here on both sides. 3 backs in the backfield for Bond over center. Back to pass. Looks in trouble. Cups it under the run. Then he gets dropped at the line of scrimmage. Giving it the ball on downs. The GORC Wildcats. 4:02 left. And a timeout called, officials timeout. And Severn trying to nurse this league and walk out of Anne Arundel Community College with a championship. There's a reverse, double reverse, coming the other way. Flag goes down. Up on his feet. Turn the corner, down to the 50 to the 45, and down he goes. But looks like this one's coming back. That was Donovan Foster on the double reverse. It's like we got a hold there. When you run a reverse like that, oftentimes the offensive linemen are way too tempted to, they tell them to hold the blocks, but it's don't hold on the block. This is going way back to the 20-yard line, so 3:31 left. That was a 15-yard penalty. Going to bring up a 1st and 25 with the ball to the 20-yard line. There's Kionis. Gives Farmer, looks. He gets wrapped up and dropped. Going to bring up 2nd down. 3:02 left. The whistles blow, and we have a stoppage of play. We have a timeout called by the Wildcats. And Coach Rick Schmidt, along with defensive coordinator Scott Bond, trying to decide what they're going to do offensively or defensively here. For the Wildcats, they have to look out for the misdirection at the that certainly has worked to success here for the Seminoles. And Kionis up over center, 3 minutes left. Gives up the middle, flag goes down. So again, we may have a false start. Or similar. It looks like it's going to be holding the call. They'll take that procedure to call. Give me a 5-yard penalty. Originally, if it was holding, I think Coach Rick Smith here for the Wildcats wanted him to take the penalty, but it turned out to be a procedure to call. Then he wanted to wave it off. It's too late now. This is below. We have a timeout called Severn. Severn, of course, in the first half, Brandon Walker's 99-yard run started the scoring. And then Torrey Wagner, the third quarter score, is the difference now. 13-7 with 2:53 left. And it's second down and a whole bunch with the ball at the 14-yard line. Here's Kionis. Misdirection. Walker is going to get wrapped up and dropped. Somebody grabbed him along the ankles and wasn't about to let him go. That was Bond. They're going to bring up third down and a timeout called by GORC. Like Wesley Masters was the one who was able to wrap up Walker at the ankles, and then Bond finished. And we go back to action now with 2:42 left. Again with a score 13-7. Jonas over center. 3 wide receivers in the set, third down. And a whole lot is going to give off to Walker, and he'll get stuffed after a gain of about 2. Fourth down. And the Wildcat defense is able to hold here. Their offense will have another shot at it. Whistle's blowing again. Timeout call this time. The Seminoles. as they figure out what they're going to do here on this fourth down play. 2:12 left. This is Anne Arundel Community College, the home of the Pioneers. In this 95-pound championship game of the Anne Arundel Youth Football Association. And the Severn Seminoles lead 13-7. This direction again, double reverse. Coming the other way now. Turn the corner. Back up on his feet and then drops. Going to be short of the first down by about 9 yards. Foster with the carry. Flag goes down. As it looks like the frustration is either setting in for either team here, because Foster slammed the ball to the turf after the play. Sportsmanlike conduct called against the Seminoles. That will take them way back, and hold on a second. They took the ball back to the 22-yard line, which I don't think if the Wildcats have the ball, and it is unsportsmanlike conduct, depends on the spot of the foul and whether or not if there's going to be a loss of down. And again, another timeout call with just over 2 minutes left. Well, for the Wildcats, touchdown, extra point ties this ball game. Actually, touchdown ties the ball game. And although the Seminoles have done a good job defensively here in today's game, the Wildcats have shown the ability to move the ball. And of the two teams, probably the most successful in the passing department. With that in mind, the Seminoles need to keep their eye on number 52. There's a give. Farm, no, back to pass. Looks, throws deep. There it is there, Banassi, and it's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Matt Banassi. He had to wait on the floater, and he dove forward for it and was able to cradle it in at the 10. First and goal as the ball's just inside the 10-yard line. 1:45 left. Bond over center. The give goes to Farmer. Turns a corner to the 5. Flag goes down at the pylon. He goes in, but flag is down. This one's coming back. And holding the call. That's going to take the ball way back to the 21-yard line. Bandesy this time splits out as a wide receiver near side. Bond comes up over center. Judge lone back in the backfield. Farmer far side. 1:18 left to give the Farmer. Option pass. Throws deep. Bandesy's at the 1. Catches. Goes in. Touchdown. And no flags. And I believe that's the third time today the Wildcats have tried that option pass from Farmer, and he threw another nice one. This time, Bandesy was able to gather it in at the 2-yard line and went in for the touchdown. We're all tied up, and this could win it for the Wildcats. Bond over center. Judge in the backfield, goes in motion. Passing again, throws a pop pass. Bandesy! (14-13) to score. 1:09 left in regulation. Certainly a great team effort by the Wildcats, but if you wanted to choose a player of the game, you didn't need to look no further than number 52. So Wesley Masters, the kickoff. A lot can still happen here. And you got to watch the onside kick too. It's going to be an end-over-ender. Goes backfield. Wilton Jackson takes it at the 32-yard line. Skirts out to the middle of the field. Still back up, cuts back, goes to the 40 to the 41-yard lines down there with just under a minute left. And exactly 60 yards of pay dirt. Well, for the Wildcats, they need a defensive stand. For the Seminoles, they need a 40-second offense. As Quiones throwing down the field, has a man there, but just overthrown. A nice pass by Edwards as he backed up. Wow. Foster was there, but was just out of his reach. With 36.4 seconds left now. Edwards over center. Directing traffic now is Edwards. Drop back, throws, has a man there off his fingertips. 32 seconds left now. It's going to bring up third down. A lot of confusion before the snap as Edwards was trying to direct where the receivers were going to go, and he carried on into the play. Edwards, two back in the backfield. Misdirection, looking, there's Walker, up on his feet, gives a stiff arm, has blockers in front of him, 24 seconds, has enough for the first down, cuts back, ball down on the ground, gonna be a scramble for it. Looks like the Seminoles will recover, but with 17 seconds left. .16 seconds left. Edwards comes up over the center. Ball's spiking it down is Edwards. Now down to 10 seconds left. And with that, Kionis comes out of the game. Edwards comes in. Here we go. A 1-point lead for GORC. Edwards back to pass. Looks, throws deep. Into coverage and Fulton harms it to the ground. 5.4 seconds left. Comes down to this play. He's going for Foster with a deep post, but he was triple covered. Well, now the Seminoles will need something of a miracle right now. Ball to 40-yard line. Back to pass. Edwards steps up, throws, has a man there, but it's going to go off his fingertips. Time expires. Your 95-pound champions are the Wildcats. With an absolute fantastic finish here. In just a moment, we'll go downstairs to Ryan Bowden, will be speaking with one or more of the principals in today's game. The first half, they had very little in the way of action. Certainly exploded in the second half, and 3 straight catches by Matt Banassi, who also had a pretty good game all around. The final was the extra point that was the difference. Let's go downstairs now to Ryan Bowden.
Came back to adversity the way that one did right there. That was one hell of a game.
What's your feelings on, the emotions up and down the whole game? Like,
we had opportunities, they had opportunities, and I just kept telling my kids if they kept staying there and believed in themselves, they take it into that end zone and we take the W home to GORC.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
And this is Ryan Bowden here, coming down with the crazy one here with the Wildcats and Seminoles. Seminoles end up scoring with a minute 9 left on the last drive after the Seminoles could not get it in the could not put a drive together, trying to basically run out the score here. You just heard it from Coach Schmidt that everything, he's very happy over his team, because that shows, he just said that shows heart that these kids come back from a deficit, and come back in the second half with a minute 9 left and win the win the championship for the Youth Football League for the Wildcats. So this is Ryan Bowden taking it back to you, Nate.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Once again, 14-13 our score. The GORC Wildcats over the Severn Seminoles here in this 95-pound championship. Thank you very much for joining us here. This is the Arundel Youth Football Association Championships.